The Czech government owns all the newsstands, the bookshops, the nationwide distribution system, which is controlled from here. There's one way, and only one way, to put an end to all this nonsense. The government must get out of business and stay out. It must transfer these assets into private hands. These are the kinds of forms you have to fill out in this country in a place like that if you want to start a business or get anything done. But if you think that only happens here, tell me, when was the last time you stood in line to get a driver's license or a registration plate? Or do you know anybody in Britain or France or Germany or the United States who has built a house sometime in the last 10 years? Ask him what he went through. Years ago, I asked a graduating student at a communist university what he was going to do when he got his degree. He said, "I don't know. They haven't told me yet." The people around here were told not only where to work, but also where to live. In these concrete blocks, thousands of identical prefabricated housing units, each one the property of the state. Maria and her husband live in one of them with their 2 children. Some years back, they were put here by the Czech communist authorities and given jobs nearby, but they've never liked the place. Yet even now, after the revolution, they can't move. There is no excuse for any of that. Housing can easily be converted to private property. And one result would be that people could sell their homes and move to get better jobs, or just to go and live where they really want to. All sorts of new opportunities would open up. Among the East European countries, Hungary has been moving away from total state control for more than a decade. However, the government still owns most of the country's enterprises. Now that it is permitting private individuals to start up their own businesses, it wants to control them too. The Hungarians aren't alone in that. Nothing is harder than to give up power. Throughout Eastern Europe, industry is strangled by government controls, especially small private businesses trying to succeed in international markets, now that trade barriers are supposed to be coming down. This place makes electronic circuits for cheap consumer goods, like alarm clocks and toasters. Their competitors in Hong Kong and Taiwan may smile when they see this as their competition. The machines are all 10 and 20 years old. But this firm can't buy modern equipment from abroad. It's not allowed to acquire and spend foreign currency. They can now manage because the wages they pay are so low, but they can't count on that forever. Sooner or later, the owner of this business will be trapped. He has to be able to deal in foreign exchange at any price that's mutually agreeable in a truly free market. That's what's needed to set him free. West of Budapest, the road passes through this little village. It's mainly a farming community, but there is also a small cooperative that processes wood for house building. It's owned by the workers. With a construction boom just around the corner, they can see an expanding market for their goods, but they need more equipment. That's their problem. Their only recourse for finance is to the local government bank. It won't help them because it wants to protect the state factory down the road. One alternative is a joint venture with a foreign company, but the workers are jealous of their independence. Permitting competitive banks or freeing the foreign exchange market would broaden their options. They'd be able to get the new equipment they need to expand and prosper.
Írni nekik egy vallaszt, és akkor
As it is, the only way that they can break out of their quandary is to break the law by buying foreign exchange on the black market. And that's what's going on here. Money hustlers trading in foreign currencies. Corrupting, yes, but also serving a real function by promoting business efficiency. It should be legal, not illegal, done through private banks, not on the street. The government can promote the transition to a free market in two very different ways. One way is simply to get out of the way. Let dozens of Rubik cubes emerge from the ingenuity, enterprise, and drive of the Hungarian people. Another way is to try to plan the transition. That way, one thing is sure. The people who do the planning will make sure that they end up on the top and the little man is on the bottom. And here in Budapest, like everywhere in Eastern Europe, small enterprises are only too well aware of that reality. Every building in this street of shops is state-owned, but out of sight down the back alleys, there's a new and vibrant world of business growing. This place has nothing to do with the state. It's truly a free, uncontrolled market. The women earn 3 times as much as they could in the state clothing factories. They make fashion garments for the young. It's a fickle market that is always changing. Their job is to keep ahead of it, to innovate. The clothes are sold from market stalls and trade is thriving. 2 years ago, this place was a derelict building site. Now, taken together, all the stalls have the annual turnover of a good-sized department store, simply because the market has been allowed to develop without state interference. Imagine the effect if production all over Hungary, Poland, and Czechoslovakia were set free like this. Here's another real success story, this time in Czechoslovakia. Martin was a rock musician. Today he makes documentary films. Some years ago, he did a concert tour of the United States and brought back second-hand recording equipment. The communist government let him bring it back after paying a hefty import tax because he said he wanted to record folk music, something the government was not doing and did not plan to do. In the past year, since things have opened up, his business has exploded. Along with music and films, he now duplicates video cassettes. He also makes audio cassettes for other Czech producers and has devised his own English language course on tape.
Welcome to Learning English.
He's on his way, and many more will follow if the government just gets out of their way. You just can't keep good people like that down. The guests at this party aren't much interested in self-driving entrepreneurs like Martin. High-powered business executives from North America and West Europe. They're interested in bigger game. They are here to do business and make good profits for their firms. They'll do it by arranging joint ventures between their Western companies and government enterprises. To succeed, they have to get on the right side of the politicians and the bureaucrats who are in charge. It's large-scale lobbying, very much in the Western manner. The danger is that in the process, local government bureaucrats and big foreign business will end up freezing out local entrepreneurs.
The government to do.
Yeah, but Les is very aware of the fact that the government is worrying about selling out the country.
The assets of Hungary belong to the people of Hungary.
Right.
I do not believe they should be sold. You're a citizen of Hungary. Who owns the state enterprise?
Okay, the society as a whole.
Not the society, the